It's a dream come true to work with Jackie, finally.
I grew up watching his films, and he's very influential in America.
The beauty of film is that you can hone in on specific qualities of a human being and bring them to life.
I like that kind of intensity because, you know, there's no one in the United States. You make a movie and you look around and people, you know, rolling the camera. And you say, get out of here. You know, we're trying to make a movie.
20年功夫贺岁，2015年新春，成龙携手2位国际新搭档天降雄狮再战贺岁银幕。影片重现了西汉与古罗马的一段历史传说。凭借《钢琴家》一片被观众所熟知的奥斯卡影帝阿德里安·布洛迪，在片中饰演头号反派。好莱坞影星约翰·库萨克则与成龙并肩作战，化身西域双雄。伴随影片宣传，2位主演双双来到中国，接受了时光网的独家专访，分享在华拍片的特殊体验，以及他们的中国功夫情节。
I think to come to China and work with Jackie, Daniel, and to do action with Jackie Chan was a great adventure for me. I grew up watching his films, and he's very influential in America.
Well, it's a dream come true to work with Jackie, finally. It's amazing. I just saw the film, and to see the fight scene, I wrote to my father last night late when I came home, and I said, you're gonna freak out when you see me fighting with Jackie, because like I laughed so much in the movie, not because the movie was funny, but because I was so happy seeing myself transported in a massive scale film with all these martial arts elements. And again, that's a dream for me. It's so wonderful. And on a deeper level, Jackie is just a wonderful human being. He's been so kind to me, so fun to collaborate with on set, and such a generous person. And so I look up to him. I'd like to be more like him and find more time to do charitable work in my spare time, to find the energy that he possesses to apply to being so present with so many people, and I'm in awe of that. Full of life and enthusiasm, and he pushes hard. Though he's not just happy and friendly. He pushes hard and he works hard, and he has a discipline. And he's in the dirt with me. His face is in the dirt, and you know, if we do a scene and I accidentally hit his arm and or he bumps into me, he's so kind about it. He's just very present and pushes you to go harder and to attack ferociously. And don't worry, don't be afraid to get really close. And I think it's great. It's great to work with people like that.
Yeah, I think that in Jackie's filmography, to me, Daniel's is his own, but the bringing together is, he's a very interesting mixture, because he's an acrobat and a daredevil and a great physical comedian, physical actor. But his nature is about reconciliation, and he has a very sweet humanitarian nature. So even in his action films, you never feel like he actually wants to hurt anybody, and he's always playing a person who sort of doesn't want to fight and is surviving. He's more of like a silent film star, a classic silent film star. So to make an action film where you enjoy the kung fu and the physicality of it, but at the same time, it's an anti-war film. You know, even at the end, he says it's a fairy tale, but I think it's a positive message. Certainly, you know, it's better than it's a better message than saying the heroes are the ones who are the cruelest and can dominate the others the best. So yes, I think they're very aware of having a positive message of reconciliation.
I was filming a movie right before and finishing it right after, which was a complete other type of film. And there was no time to really train in advance because it was just not a possibility. So we made up for lost time and worked very hard, training in the Gobi Desert and working fight scenes. But they're very talented. These guys are. They gave me a good basis for our understanding of what's needed in martial arts film in China. It's really interesting. There was no time to do training beyond the fight training that we did, but I was pretty lucky to have Jackie and the Jackie Chan stunt team all training me in elaborate moves with sword play and, you know, learning how to do flowers and all kinds of things that were very exciting. And you know, perhaps there'll be more opportunities in the future that we can expand upon that. But it definitely rekindled my love for martial arts.
I work with Sensei Benny Urquidez, who made films with Jackie Chan in the 70s and 80s. And Benny was a real fighter, champion. And so he's been doing my choreography in the States for a long time, like in Grosse Pointe Blank or many of the other films that I do. He does what Jackie does. He's a stunt choreographer. So we work together a lot. And one of our fights in a movie called Grosse Pointe Blank was based on a fight that Benny and Jackie did in the 70s and 80s. So now to have Benny come even later, 30 years later, and we're doing another fight with Jackie and his JC stunt team was a great honor for me, and it was really fun. So I've been training in martial arts my whole life. It's hard to do it at a high level because you don't want to do really dumb movies that have action. So you try to make as good a movies as you can make. So to make an action movie with Jackie, you got to do it.
All like to see movies, and there's inevitably a bad character within that. The interesting thing is to incorporate some complexity within the bad character, that in spite of him not being likable, that you still, I don't know, care for him in a way. You still feel something for him. Tiberius is a very insecure person. I see that. It's somewhere, it's within the writing, but Daniel Lee, our filmmaker, and I discussed it many times at length. What would propel a person to do something so unconscionable, just to blind his own brother, to be so ruthless and so heartless? It goes beyond a greed or a lust for power. It stems from not being loved and feeling competitive from that. And we all can understand that on a small degree. We all, you know, can relate to whatever things that are out there. You just have to open your mind to that. And the beauty of being an actor is to go much further with these things and use your imagination or research things and people's lives and elements of psychology where you see where there's this downward spiral, and then you bring that to life. And so that's fascinating. You know, I have a very vivid imagination. This is why I became an actor in the first place. And I also have a degree of empathy, and I feel for people, and it's very easy for me to establish an understanding of a character and feel for them, because there's a lot of tragedy in this world, as we all know, and there's a lot of joy and love as well. But to tap into those moments, I mean, I think the beauty of film is that you can hone in on specific qualities of a human being and bring them to life, and then they are permanent, they exist.
I beg of you, spare him. He's committed no crime. Of course he's committed a crime. This crime is that he took the place in your hearts that belonged to me.
This is not your business.
We are friends. I want to help you.
The English dialogue, I thought at some points the translations, I didn't understand them, but as I talked to Daniel, I understood his intention. So I said, do you, and we had to make sure that the translations, I understood the meaning. So the script kept evolving, and they kept making sure that we were in the same place. So I think just navigating the languages was one thing, and then the culture and the time period Daniel knew so much about, and we talked a lot about that. But that was the only thing about the script, was that some of the dialogue just phonetically didn't track as English at first, a couple places, and then we worked on that. And then you had to also take back the, people didn't have the colloquialisms 2,000 years ago, right? So they wouldn't say slang, right? So we just had to work on the, it was tricky to work on the language, but Daniel was very open to that and worked very hard. And it was very interesting. Good adventure for me to be in China and make a film, Chinese language film. Everything about it was unique, because you didn't have to, anywhere you looked at the camera, you saw the most intense vistas in the world. So there's not green screen, it's not CGI. That's a lot. I mean, there is, of course, CGI in the movie, but we were out in the middle of nowhere. So I like those experiences. It was really fun. With Jackie and Daniel, I'm not sure if that's how all Chinese films are, or just them, but they work incredibly hard, very passionate, and very intense. And that could just be Jackie and Daniel, but I liked it. Whatever, if that's Chinese movies, I like Chinese movies. I like that kind of intensity, because there's no one in the United States. You make a movie and you look around and people, you're rolling the camera, and you say, "Get out of here!" We're trying to make a movie. Yeah, a little bit lazy, a little bit take it for granted sometimes, but not here. I liked it. So it was very intense, very passionate, I found. But I think in movies that all comes from the top. So if the director and the star, Jackie, are that way, maybe in the same way in the States too. Like if on one of my movies, if an actor's working and I see someone off by the camera on the phone, I stop. I say, you go away. Actor's trying to work, don't do your email right here. We're working here. But nobody would do that on Jackie's set. I mean, everybody's, it helps you as an actor.